This is Father Toby Collins, Vocation Director for the Congregation of the Resurrection. You know, one of the many blessings that I have in living religious life is that there are elder members in my community who have lived lives of service. One such member would be Father Bill LaFlamme. With over 50 years of joy-filled service, we joke that he's almost as famous as his niece, Lisa LaFlamme from CTV News. He's here to share with us his story as he answers the more common questions he has been asked over the years.
My dear young friends, have you received an invitation to a party recently, or a request to join in some social or even some athletic competition, or whatever? Did you accept? Did you mull over the invitation, wondering why it was sent, whether you really wanted to go or not, and so forth and so forth? Well, in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 22, verses 5 to 6, there's a very timely story of some people who refused to attend a king's invitation to a party. Their supposed reasons were that they had some business to attend to, or had to go to their farm. The biggest shock was that these very people, invited by the king, laid hold of the king's servants, mistreated them, and even killed them. Wow, the gall, the nerve to refuse an invitation from their king. What's the message, and why bring that up to us? Well, biblical stories abound in church teaching, and you will have heard any number of them before. But why this story? Well, to be upfront, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Father Bill LaFlamme. I'm a priest of the Congregation of the Resurrection, and I'm at Resurrection Manor in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. During my 57 years of priesthood, I've enjoyed teaching high school boys, being novice master to young men entering studies for the priesthood, sharing with people of all ages, young and old alike, in parish work and in any number of commitments, and now being able to look back at what made all this possible. The answer is that I responded to the call to priesthood. I accepted the invitation to follow Christ in a very special way. Some questions that you may immediately come to mind. For instance, how did you receive that invitation? Well, the answer is my 13 years of being taught by the Sisters of Notre Dame, the School Sisters of Notre Dame, and the priests of the Resurrection, the Catholic environment at home, my own personal sense of being called by God, all these things provided the beginning of the answer to the call. You know, there's an old saying, no one is an island, no one stands alone. My 4 brothers, 2 sisters, all encouraged me to follow my calling by God. Also, of course, my parish priest helped to direct me to the initial decision to enter studies for the priesthood. Of course, all the way along the 8 years prior to ordination, I was strengthened in my conviction by my studies, the in-depth support of prayer and sacraments, and especially the good example of my religious superiors and the example of my fellow seminarians. Well, the next observation might be, have you enjoyed your years of service and the life you have chosen with God's grace? The answer would be, by all means. Yes, I can honestly say that in spite of the changing world around me during my close to 57 years of priesthood, God has kept me close to Him, my faith has remained strong, and my desire to be another Christ to those around me has also remained constant and up to the challenges dealt me. Finally then, the question, are you not sorry that you never married, never had your own family, never enjoyed the love of a dear wife and family, and especially in these your latter years? And the answer would be, yes, I believe that I would have enjoyed the privilege of marriage, of having a dear wife and children, of attending my local Catholic church and sharing in the sacraments. But God chose me, and aided by the grace of my commitment, my faith, the love of my family, the example of my fellow religious priests, brothers, and sisters, I thank God mightily and pray that He will continue to choose men and women to follow His Son Jesus as priests, brothers, and sisters in His service. Thank you very much.
As we come together to thank God for the gift of Father Bill, I'm wondering, how did we come to know Christ more deeply through Bill? What was it about Bill that spoke to us about Christ? What qualities of Christ were revealed to us by Bill's life? One word that comes to me is the word hospitality. In the late 70s, Father Bill was pastor of St. Joe's Parish in Hamilton. I was a student in theology, and Bill, as pastor and superior of the house, was very welcoming, very gracious, and very hospitable during my 3 months living in the rectory at St. Joe's Parish.
Well, Bill, now it's time to say goodbye. We give praise and thanks to God for the gift and blessing of your life and how your life has blessed our lives. You will be missed. You will be remembered. You will never be forgotten. And we have more tears to cry for you, more prayers to pray for you, more stories to tell about you. Eternal rest grant to Bill, and let perpetual light shine upon him, and may his souls and all the souls of the faithful departed rest in the mercy and peace of our risen Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.